Welcome to the first episode of a 5-minute view from the Kop. My name is Jamie T, and the idea of this podcast is to give a no-fuss, very quick impression of the game straight after it's finished. A bit like a sort of a one-way praise or grumble. So without further ado, here's what I thought about today's match against Sunderland. Well, going into the game on the back of that thumping 4-0 victory against Plymouth, one of the best starts in the season we've had in a long time. Obviously expectations were really, really high. We'd expect that the opposition today would have been a little bit tougher. Thinking about Sunderland, they've not really spent any money so far this season, and they've been saying that they need a striker. They finished last season on a poor run. They've got a new manager, and he's had a little bit of a dodgy record coming into it. They won the first match of the season, fair enough, but they lost in the cup. I don't know whether they changed that much from there. So, and obviously they got Pavida from under his nose, but fortunately he wasn't playing today, because you would have expected, as most ex-Wednesday players do, he would have come along and got the winner. However, Didn't really play out like that, did it? I thought we started really well at the beginning, just as we'd finished against Plymouth, and the team looked really good. You'd have expected that we would have done well. We started really well, and then all of a sudden we concede a free kick, and then we find nobody picking up at the back. There were talk potentially that Windass had a bit of a tug, but he probably would have been the player that would have been picking up at the back, and he didn't, unfortunately, and they scored. So how would we come back from that? Well, not long afterwards we conceded a second, trying to tap it out from the back, which is okay, it worked very well so far against Plymouth, but we sent it out to Windass. He decided that he was going to be a bit fancy and try and flick it on, but they were sharp to that. Defenders were all out wide because of the way that we play when we're passing the ball out. So ball comes straight back to their player, shoots and scores, 2-0 down. Bit of a disaster already straight away. And all of a sudden we started to look really nervous, and it all seemed to be flipped round, that they got the momentum. They seemed to be a lot quicker, and they were coming at us, roaring them on. I mean, the young lads, and a bit of confidence is generally pretty good for them. So third, again, player on the edge of the box, nobody picking him up, give him an easy opportunity to shoot. We were a bit unlucky with that one, really, that there was a deflection, and then they came in, and I think we again had Windass didn't really have a very good game today. He was playing their team on side, and I think everybody thought that they were offside when they scored, but no. You would have really hoped that we would have managed to regroup and do something about it when it come to half time, but they scored again quite soon after. Just say, I mean, obviously we had an opportunity. We put the ball in the back of the net, but it was a definite offside. But I think for their fourth goal, the issue there was Valerie was not picking up at all. Their player allowed him to run on. Decent player, managed to get the ball across, and again, in the middle, player in the middle, just tapping the ball straight in. So, did we do it to ourselves? I think you can definitely say that this is a result, really, where we sort of did it all to ourselves. We did change things about. We brought in some subs, utilised the subs bench, I thought, pretty well. At first, it was try to stop them from scoring, and then afterwards, we obviously needed something to try and give us an outlet up front. We put Smith on, so you just think we were going to play it long. The thing about playing it long is, if you're going to send a ball to Smith's head, he's going to probably flick it on. Need somebody to run onto it. Nobody was running on. We started to take off the speed from up front, and I think we ended up having the ball coming straight back at us. I think at 4-0 they were probably just taking the foot off the gas in any case. They seemed to sit back. They quite easily took the ball off us. They quite easily annulled any kind of threat that we had. Overall, I mean, we fetched Ugbo on, and Marvin Johnson. Ugbo had half a dozen touches in the time he was on. Didn't really do anything at all. I mean, possession wise, it were pretty even match. Shots wise, I think they had going on for twice as many as we had, and obviously just took everything that they did. I think we had more touches in the opposition box, which is interesting. Obviously just didn't do anything with it. There were times in that second half where we seemed to be really, really flat-footed, and the ball was coming into us, and it was like watching us in slow motion as they came at us, and you just knew we were going to lose it each time. They'd got that momentum because of the goals, and obviously a bunch of young lads, lots and lots of energy, and it just conceding those goals seemed to sap the energy out of us completely. So overall, well, what we going to learn about that, I don't know, because that seemed like a decent team that we put out, but maybe it was really interesting. The subs seemed to bring it back to a little bit more like the team that was around last year. I think at one point we were playing 5 at the back because we were really concerned, but we did seem to annul the threat. But like I say, they probably decided that they were taking the foot off the gas in any case. So next up, Leeds. That's going to be difficult, isn't it? We don't need to be doing this kind of performance again at home with the cameras on us. We've seen it before against that team. So, but we've again, if we could bang 6 against them like we did previously, then that'd be really good as well. So not really time to panic, but I think they all need need to start talking to each other, and they need to sort out that positioning in defence. Midfield, yeah, Bannon and Ingerson, pretty good. Windass, no, didn't have a good game today. So we were not really creating anything. I think we just need to get that defence sorted out, and I think, the confidence will come with it. Okay, so that's the first episode of the pod completed. Let me know what you think of the game. There's not going to be much positive coming out of it. Please subscribe to the pod.